Alrighty y'all, welcome back to yet another video. So what we have here today is my BMW 330. This is the G20 generation, a 2019 with the B46/B48 engine. And currently it is tuned on stage 1, but I do want to go to stage 2. And in order to do so, we have to upgrade the downpipes. And this is the kit that I picked up. I got this CATLESS downpipe from the brand TCM. Doesn't really matter what brand you go for. This was just one of the more affordable ones that I went for. It was about $220. I also picked up some OEM gaskets and some clamps. So this is a clamp right here. That's the part number, as you can see. And this is a original BMW gasket. And these were another like 30 bucks. So altogether it was like $250. And if you don't want to get these accessories, you could just get the downpipe and reuse the hardware that came on your original downpipe. But I always recommend getting new hardware because the old one is most likely worn down. And I'll leave a link in the description below if you guys want to pick anything up. And this should be a pretty straightforward DIY process. If you are a little handy with tools, you can get this done within just an hour or even less. You don't have to take it to a shop, and it should be a pretty plug and play process. And we are going to be working on the passenger side for the most part, right over here. And you can actually see the downpipe right down over here. And it's pretty accessible, unlike a lot of the older BMWs. Now, I did just get back from a drive for about an hour, so the engine is really hot right now. I would suggest waiting until your car cools down to do this, but let's go ahead and just pop off the engine cover. And we're gonna be working on this section over here on the left side, or the passenger side, where your ignition coils are. Now mine is a little bit messed up. Like, this shouldn't be loose like this. All of this stuff should be a little bit more intact. But essentially there are two O2 sensors. There's a downstream and an upstream sensor on the CATs, and they pretty much loop all the way up here. So you have to go ahead and disconnect it. Now it looks like the tabs on mine are actually broken. So I'm assuming that the previous owner of this car probably broke it or had a downpipe initially. Yeah, we're gonna have to disconnect all of these cables, and then we can get to the bottom of the car to physically remove the CATs. Now, just as a precaution, I do recommend removing or disconnecting the negative terminal on your battery to cut the power. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a 10mm and just loosen that up. It's not absolutely necessary, but it's always a nice safety thing to do, especially since we are going to be messing with sensors and whatnot. And since your battery is located in the trunk, do not close your trunk. I'm going to leave it open the entire time, because if you do close it, it's going to be really difficult to access that later on. So now I'm going to go ahead and disconnect all of the connections. So this one that's kind of loose, that has like the yellow end and the other end. So I'm going to just pull off this one. You want to pull back on the locking clip and then just kind of wiggle it out. Okay. So we disconnected this right here, put this aside, and then these two connections, you're gonna disconnect that as well. So yet again, pull back on the white clip as a way to unlock it. It might actually be easier just to take this whole entire housing out first. So let me just twist it out like so, push down on the tab and just separate it. Bit of a tight connection, gotta say. Now that all that's disconnected, down here, as you can see, we have these two cables that are loose, and it's basically connected with these little tape marks. So that's basically where your O2 sensors are. So now we're gonna just let this sit over here nice and loose, and we can now jack up the car, put it on ramps, and start removing the original downpipe. I'm using two jacks, one on each side, as you can see, and I'm gonna actually leave them here. I do have the ramps as well as a second support, so if one or the other jack fails, it can land down on the ramps and I won't get crushed underneath. The rear wheels are also chalked off, so I highly recommend doing this very safely. At least put a tire or a ramp or something just to prevent it from dropping. So this is the clamp that's going to release the CATs to the mid pipe. That's the mid pipe all the way down. So you're gonna go ahead and remove this bolt over here, and that should loosen and separate this flex pipe from here. And that's gonna be the first step. Alrighty, so we have a bit of an update. I couldn't get this freaking bolt off because it's so rusted. Tried hitting it with the heat gun, didn't do anything. So I took out a Dremel and literally just cut the bracket off. Look, I just made a cut right there, bah! And I was able to pull it back. So now it's loose. That is something to keep in mind, that if you have an old car, most likely there's gonna be rust. That's gonna make it a difficult process. But now that we got that loose, the downpipe here, the flex pipe is able to wiggle around, but there are two more bolts that are holding this downpipe in place that is preventing this from actually coming out. So that's one bolt right there, and the same thing on the other side right there. So those two 13mm, once you take that out, it's going to give you a little bit more clearance where you can actually disconnect the flex pipe here with the mid pipe, and then that gives you more clearance to reach your hand all the way in to remove one more 13mm to fully take this thing out. Alrighty folks, so I found a little trick. So we got all the bolts out for the downpipe in that area, but we had one more bolt on a top upper clamp, and I tried going through the engine bay, I tried reaching from underneath, and it was just a very tight clearance. And I found the best way to do it, which literally took no effort. Take your passenger side wheel off, remove this cover over here, which looks like this. It's basically just a fender liner piece right here. And after you remove this, you literally have a direct view of the downpipe bolt, which is, let me see if I can zoom in for you guys. If you just look somewhere right over there, it's like right up here. And I was able to put an extension, literally just going through right over here. I just looped it through like that and unbolted it pretty easily. So I would recommend just going through the wheel well. I don't really see too many people doing it that way, but it is a much easier method. All right, so we got the original cat out. After we removed the bolts on top, it kind of just fell all the way down and it just got stuck on the bracket, and I just had to wiggle it out. But here we have the original cat, and we do have to transfer over the sensors. So this is the upstream O2 sensor and this is the downstream. And it's a little bit longer, so that's how I can differentiate the difference. Now I did actually remove a couple of more underbody panels just to give me more workspace to, you know, deal with. Alrighty, so I got the O2 sensor swapped over. As you can see, this is the upstream, this is the downstream. You're gonna make sure the bottom one is longer. And this overall downpipe is actually skinnier than the OEM. The original one is much thicker, so when it comes to reinstalling it, it's gonna be much easier because you have more clearance to work with and it's completely hollow. Whereas this one, the OEM has the cats inside. So additionally, I do notice the original one has the brackets and the new one does not. See, it's just a bare pipe, which yet again makes it a lot easier to put back in. So before we put it back in, we got to install our new gasket and our new clamp. So here we have the gasket. Here we go. Smack it down. It's basically like a crush washer. So as you install it, it'll get snugged in there. And then our new bracket, which now I'm actually concerned about, because if you guys remember earlier, I cut off the bracket towards the bottom portion where it connects to the mid pipe. And I believe this new bracket actually might be connecting towards the top, not the bottom. This is the original bracket for the top portion, which I have right here, which is good that we're replacing it because look how rusty the old one is. But now I'm curious about the one that connects to the mid pipe because I cut that one up. I thought that this was actually going to be the one for the bottom, but apparently it's not. But I think I should be fine. I can just get a new bracket. But yeah, let's put this new bracket on. Like so. I'm just going to thread it in just a little bit to hold it in place. All right, so this is what it's looking like under the car. We have the mid pipe here. I did take this bolt off, so you have some wiggle room. And we're just going to insert the new down pipe here. Make sure it's the right way up. You just want to get it all the way up in there. Something like that. And then you just make sure this lines up as well. So you gotta play around with the fitment. I'm gonna try to tighten up that bracket up top and figure out what's gonna happen with this one down here. Because this bracket right here, as you can see, is completely snapped. Alrighty, so this is what we have going on. We got the downpipe installed, and oof, the lighting's horrendous, but I was able to clamp down the bracket up top, and I did orient it like this, so the bolt comes down like this, so I can, that way it's easier to reach from the engine bay rather than having to go through the wheel well. The bottom, however, luckily, my local dealer here actually had the part in stock, so stopped by Rally BMW, picked up a brand new OEM V-band clip for this car, so now I can finally close it up and not have any exhaust leaks. This thing was literally like 40 bucks or 45 bucks, which is kind of pricey because you can find these online for literally $20, but I needed it now. So check it out. We have everything bolted up top. That is the clamp over there, secured and tightened. And we just have to work on this portion where we connect the downpipe to the mid pipe. This is the old bracket that is snapped in pieces. So we'll get rid of that and we'll install this one and tighten it up. Alrighty, so I put the new clamp on and it fits pretty dang well. It's nice and secure all around. So yeah, a pretty straightforward process. We have only 2 clamps, the top one and the bottom one. That's all that's needed for the downpipe installation. You don't need to worry about any of these brackets on the side, which just saves a lot of hassle. All we have to do now is just put the covers back on. I did take off a couple of these panels. I also took off the metal panel here that just fits right in this area. So once we put those panels on, then we can really start this thing up and hear how the new downpipe sounds. Alrighty, so now before we start up the car, I do want to reflash it. And it doesn't matter what tune you already had on the car, but whenever you change your hardware in your car, you always want to reflash it, even if it's the same map or you're going to do a new map. That way your car can recognize your new components. And I do have a lot of different maps. I do have a stage 2, stage 1, I have flex fuel maps, but I'm going to still stick with the stage 193 octane that I've been already running on. That was my last flash. And basically I'm going to keep everything exactly the way it is. The only thing I did change is I turned off the catalytic converter sensor, the O2 sensors. That way I don't have a check engine light. I have a custom burble settings. I got 2.5 second duration on normal mode. Sports mode is maxed out. Aggression is maxed out. No minimum or maximum speed. And I have GTS Roar enabled, max cooling mode on. The exhaust flap is open. We are still on the stock exhaust except the downpipe. And the catalytic converter monitors is off. And so that's pretty much our configuration. And I'm going to go ahead and reflash the car, and then we can hear what this car sounds like. Alrighty guys, so that is how you install a catless downpipe on your 330 with the B46 or B48 engine. The sound, I gotta say, is pretty decent. It's still quiet because I still have the resonator and the muffler, but it does give it a bit of a growl, which is nice. Now if you guys want to hear what it sounds like when I'm revving it up or driving around town, I will be making a separate video strictly about the sound, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully this video was helpful for you guys if you want to DIY install a downpipe for yourself. So with that being said, make sure to drop a like and a comment below, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.